So, opening up the show, we're going to the temple. We're going to throw up some prayers. Here at Idol Worship, we look at the people we look up to the most, and we talk about why. So, this week, I want to talk about the one and only Jason Bateman.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, figured. No, come on. A lot of you out there, I'm sure, are familiar with him. He is an actor, a comedian, a director, a producer now, all of it. He's been in the business for a long time. Born in 1969, this 53-year-old performer, director, producer hails from Rye, New York. I have no idea where that is. It's probably upstate.
It's very bready.
A lot of carbs. A lot of people come, carbo-loaded, pre-carbo-loaded. He moved to SoCal as a kid with his parents. He was like 4 years old and started working in commercials at a young age, doing like cereal commercials. And then he started doing TV shows and small movies and like TV movies. And you can kind of get it. He kind of almost got Macaulay Culkin. Like
he's better than that.
Yeah, but he there's this line in some of his history where he just is like, at the age of 20, he dissolved his business relationship with his dad. It's like, yeah, we know what that really means.
That's very mature.
He stopped sending him checks.
Yeah.
But he then he merged as straight-laced Michael Bluth in Arrested Development. That was kind of the show that really broke him open. But he had been working in a lot of the 90s TV show stuff. And he did Teen Wolf 2, T-O-O, as the wolf.
So it wasn't Michael J. Fox?
It wasn't Michael J. Fox. It was after Michael J. Fox. He's since accelerated his career, landing lead roles in successful movies like The Switch, Horrible Bosses, Identity Thief, and Game Night. While getting involved in the creative process, he directed a film he starred in called Bad Words, which is about like a con man who is essentially competing in a spelling bee with like 8th graders. And he directed some episodes and helped produce the show on Netflix, Ozark, which you've heard me rave about before and talk about in a recommendation station. He's set to help recreate the film version of Clue. And this is fun for all of us here at the Velocity Cast podcast. He runs his own podcast with Will Arnett and Sean Hayes called Smart Less. They've won a lot more awards than we have.
We're just getting started, getting our feet under us.
But they are an award-winning podcast. They're comedy podcast, talk about life. They've done some. They did a tour last year, I think, late last year, or maybe
podcast tour. That's next level.
Where they do the show live for a theater audience.
That's cool. Maybe one day we could do that.
Hopefully, we could do that. We may do it soon.
Get a tour, Velocity Cast tour bus.
Yeah.
Around,
we could do it on that side of the room.
Yeah, we can. We can migrate. We can fly on over there. I've been a fan of his for a while. I've watched a lot of Arrested Development recently, and I really like him in that. I really like him in Ozark because it's a much more serious turn. But there's a great Vanity Fair interview that he did. It's a video on their YouTube channel. We'll post it in the links down below. And he looked at everything, and I was really upset because they left out this scene that he has in Smokin' Aces, and everyone should go watch it. Smokin' Aces, the movie. It's wild. It's Ryan Reynolds, Ben Affleck, early, first Chris Pine movie. Not even kidding you. It's the first Chris Pine movie. And he's billed pretty low down on the totem pole.
Wow.
And there's this scene that Jason Bateman has where he plays this guy what was his name? Shoot, I was on a roll there, but
you were rolling. Yeah,
something. It's something Reggie. But anyway, he is this strung out dude who's essentially giving Ben Affleck the money to go find Jeremy Piven. I know you like Jeremy Piven. You're big.
I love him.
Zach's a big Jeremy Piven guy, and he just steals the entire scene. But there's this one shot where he's just rolling, and he breaks Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck has to turn away from him in the wide shot because Jason Bateman's just lighting it up, just deadpan delivery of these most absurd things. And
Rupert Reed.
Rupert Reed?
According to this.
So anyway, you gotta go check out that scene because it is funny. He kind of steals that movie a little bit there in that scene.
Question though.
Yeah.
So in Switch and Identity Thief. Did he do that with Jerry O'Connell?
What break? What break Jerry? So,
Because Jason Bateman and Jerry O'Connell look very similar.
oh, Switch. He did it with Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, I thought they played the same person.
And the
and just
Identity
switched.
Thief he did with Melissa McCarthy. So
I got it.
I got it, but way off.
Intern gets it.
Intern gets it. So yeah. So have you seen anything? Anybody seen anything with? Jason
Wasn't
Bateman?
he in Horrible Bosses?
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, Horrible Bosses. Arrested Development, that was good.
Oh, Kangaroo Jack.
Was he in?
No. That
Wait,
was
what?
What?
He was the kangaroo.
He's played. He was doing the. There's that one Thunder Force. Olivia. Octavia Spencer. And Melissa McCarthy, and he plays.
And he was the crab
He's the
hands guy.
crab. Yeah, he was the
Or lobster, or
the
whatever.
claw or something like that. And he's hilarious because the thing that I've learned about Jason Bateman, and I wanted to get into why I like him, why he's one of my idols,
Tell me.
and it's the way he works. And he will go do bit roles now that he's getting lead roles. He will still go do bit roles with people he likes.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking Aces he was in a movie with Ben Affleck right before that, I believe, which was about like flavor extracts. It's called Extract. So I think from his relationship that he had with Ben there, Ben's like, come out and do Smoking Aces. He's like, okay, cool.
That's the dream. Just
Ripped Reed was his name in Smoking Aces. I finally found it.
Oh.
Ripped Reed. You can
it
find
said
it. on
Rupert
YouTube.
Reed over here.
Well, that's his first name, but like
Oh, okay.
his crime name is Ripped Reed.
Is that confirmed on IMDb?
Yeah. He's completely strung out. But anyway, he's one of my idols for 3 major reasons. His philosophy on working with people and his attempt to navigate a competitive business by being a good collaborator is something I think we can all learn a lesson from. If you look at his interviews, he always talks a lot about the people that he's met and how grateful he is for the people along the way who have helped him, who have put him on good sets or put him in movies that were funny. And for people who gave him breaks, like on Arrested Development, when he got the tip for that audition from an old agent of his. So he must have had a good enough relationship with the guy for him to be like, hey, Jason, this sounds like a fit for you. And he went out and he auditioned because he read it and really liked it. And his current agent was saying, oh, you don't want to take this. There's no lights. It's no stage. It's all handheld. Like, you're trying to do something new with TV. But Jason was like, it's funny. It's really funny. So he went, and the producer knew that he had another audition the next day. And he walked out with him, which rarely happens because when a producer follows like a actor out of the audition, he said, hey, you have an audition tomorrow. Yeah. Well, you should not go to that. And Jason Bateman just kind of went, do I have the job? Is that why I shouldn't go? So anyway, it's just, he was illustrating the point that people who you're good to and have good relationships with can turn into leads that make your career, that break your career.
Don't burn your bridges.
Don't burn your bridges. More importantly, build strong, healthy bridges.
Yeah.
He also tried to navigate, it was tough, some of the stuff that came out about Jeffrey Tambor during the Transparent days. And Jason Bateman, I give him credit. He might have misspoke, but he was trying to see everybody's perspective and try to make, a connection between everybody. So that can be really hard when people and maybe have a good relationship get kind of out of hand and then end up ruining their own relationship. But he didn't like just burn Jeffrey Tambor. Like, he was trying to say like, hey, like, I'll figure it out.
Transparent sounds like a very this day and age movie.
Yeah. Well, that was a TV show on Amazon and yeah.
Oh, so it's recent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Jeffrey Tambor was on it. So anyway, the other 3 things, and I'll wrap it up. Talked a lot in this segment. I'm worshiping. Why aren't you guys on your knees?
We are not worthy, Jason.
His commitment to being a family man. He's been married for 21 years to the same woman. They have 2 kids. And in his interview, he said early on in his life, he knew he wanted to be a father, a husband, and direct something good in his lifetime. And I can really respect that he put those 2 things first. It can be hard, being in any business and trying to reach a high level in it. But the fact that he prioritized being a family man and also having a career and making a good career, I really respect that. And that's what I would hope for my life and for my friends' lives. And then finally, his deadpan, honest to goodness, oh shucks delivery is just hilarity in a box. And he can come into a scene, small bit, roll in a movie, and just be the highlight of the comedic tone of the film. So, yeah, that's why I like Jason Bateman.
Yeah, you don't need to be all flashy and silly faces and loud noises to be funny. It's, sometimes just that, not stale, but the being the Rock is funnier than being the Waves, I guess.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
A little bit of dad comedy, you
Yeah.
know? Like, sometimes you need a good old-fashioned dad comedy.
Yeah.
Well, deadpan delivery is something to respect.
It's an art.
If you can look at somebody and land the punchline without smiling, how often does that turn into the biggest laugh of the scene? A lot.
Many times.
Yeah. And a lot of people make their bank on it. Will Ferrell, even though like a lot of the bloopers, he's laughing. They're trying to get through the lines. But yeah, that's the idea, is like if you can be in the moment, be in the scene, be the character, and believe what you're saying is earnest, but it's actually hilarious, and you don't see it as hilarious and you deliver it deadpan, I think those are the best comedic moments on screen.
Yeah, Ernest was good.
So yeah, that was my recent idol worship. I know that the second season of Ozark is coming out soon. I think this year it's supposed to come out later in the fall. So keep an eye out for that. But other than that, you can go back now, watch Arrested Development. I know that's on Netflix, and I'm gonna check out his podcast too. I think Smartless.
Yeah, Arrested Development was one that I put off for a long time, and my brother's like, "You gotta watch it," and then just binged all like whatever 6 seasons there were, or whatever, like 4, and then it worked out perfectly because when I stopped, like 6 months later, they came with the renewed version, whatever season.
Yeah,
like, it was good.
Do you think that's just not to go on a tangent because we're moving on, but do you think that's a lost art form of the straight man trying to figure out how to put everything together and just chaos happening around him? Because that was a really popular genre of comedy sitcoms for a long time, of that one guy who's trying to keep everything together, and just couldn't do it.
Yeah, that I guess that was the staple of through the aughts and into the early teens, and now it's a lot different. I guess I shouldn't say I'm not familiar because I haven't watched a ton of TV, so I don't know what's hot right now. But I just know how it used to be.
To me, it's more about the ensemble now. Like you have shows like Community, The Office, stuff like that, or Parks and Rec, where they do have a lead character, but it's way more about the ensemble and what they're all up to.
Yeah, it's
even like Rick and Morty.
Like you say, it's like the comedy was based around like you're trying so hard to keep your life together, but every little thing falls apart.
Yeah,
it's made it hilarious. Yeah.
I think Rick and Morty does it though. Like Morty is always trying to fix the problem that Rick is creating.
And he has his own faults as well, though, being a teenager and
Anyway, I do like that genre of comedy. So, and I think Bateman does it really, really well.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me fanboy a little bit on that.
Of course.
And you never know when Arrested Development's going to fall off of Netflix. So you want to get over there and check it out.